Yo guys, what's up? My name is Random. I'm a staff wand healer playing on Wraith for Pirate Gaming. I released a video about stats and gear builds for staff wand yesterday, and I decided to follow it up with a guide on how to build the perfect healer for yourself. There are many variations on staff wand you can run, which all are viable. Kind of depends on where you want to put the focus, like if you want to play more of a hybrid build, sleeper build, full support build. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's start off with passives. I'll just start naming the ones that I always have on. First one is Devotion and Emptiness. You usually have this one on at all times during the day. If you PvP at night and you want to min-max, you will swap this out for Saint's Oath. As you can see on my skill level, I'm a slacker, so I don't. Selfless Soul, you have this on at all times. Noble Revival, you have this on at all times. I'm gonna not pronounce this, but you keep this on at all times. Mana Amp is so good, you have this on at all times and max this out as soon as you can. Echoic Barrier, have this on at all times. Forbidden Sanctuary, have this on at all times. And Flame Condensation, you will run this if you decide to play on a more hybrid focused build, like I personally prefer. If you don't, you will swap this out for Saint's Oath. So these are the passives. Like the other ones are all pretty much useless IMO. Like the ones I'm not using is Frost Master, it doesn't really do anything. I'm not running Mana Ball Eruption, doesn't really do anything either. And then you have Raid's Beacon and Vampiric Contract, which don't necessarily do anything for this build. So the only other two options are like you could run Full of Corruption, you could run Saint's Oath, but that's basically it. For the actives, there are some skills that you will always want to use if you play PvP as a healer. First one is Clay's Salvation, it's the AoE heal, it's just too good to drop. Second one is Fountain of Life, it's just super powerful. It's basically all the skills for healing, like Swift Healing, bread and butter. Invincible Wall, really good. Blessed Barrier is insane, and Inner Peace for your mana generation. The others is kind of dependent on whether you are running a sleep-centered build or not. I always recommend playing like a sleep build and a non-sleep build. So if you look, I can just swap over and drop my sleep, go into a more damage-oriented build. I personally do this when I am PvPing. Like I always know, oh, I am gonna need sleep on this engage. I'm gonna not need sleep on this engage, and I just swap out. Like if I'm in game, I will just swap out my gear set depending on whether I'm gonna sleep or not. It's up to you to do the same or not. You can just perma run sleep. It always has its use. So yeah, let's just start up with building the build. You're gonna go into skill specializations and you are gonna decide what you wanna do. Like we'll start with the Swift Healing. Like you will always want to use this one. You will always want to use this one. And you will always want to have range extension. Like Mana Recovery, you will skip this. Blessed Barrier, you will always want to have the duration increase on this. Blessed Barrier will have, like, if you read the tooltip, you will see that for the initial 2 seconds it will have a greater effect, and then it will go on to the next 6 seconds. So it's actually 2 buffs, and the second increases on both of these. So it's not just 1 second, and it increases it by 2 seconds. And if you run a build that has a lot of increased buff duration, it will just increase the entire length of Blessed Barrier. Like if I cast this on myself, you can see this lasts for 3 seconds, then it's gonna last for another 8 seconds, and you will see when this runs out, it will only have like 10 seconds of downtime on this, so it's just really good to use. So going on, there's also targets expanded option on this. There is some discussion going on, like is this a good pick or not, and it can actually be good. Like if you are next to your tank and you run this, you can cast it on like both you and your tank. And the only thing it won't have the initial doubled effect. So the warning about reduced effect, it's not really that bad. It's not really that bad. So this is actually a viable option. I really haven't considered this up to like a few days ago when someone mentioned it to me, but it is actually a pretty nice option. If you lack points to use this, you can also drop the duration increase because it's less effective like this. But I am not running this myself. I usually just use Blessed Barrier to use on any party member that's too low to effectively top up, so I can just cast this and get them up. So let's continue. The other healing skills, Clay Salvation. It's a tough one on this one for me. Like the thing most people use is radius increased to increase the radius of your clays. I can just show you, like if I am standing here, let me just line it out. Look, if you look at clays now, you will see like the default range is up till here. If I put it in the extra range, it will increase it by 5 meters. And you'll see that it is quite some extra range. I personally choose not to run radius increased. And for me, it's like, if I'm playing with my group, we're always centered around the tank. So let's say the tank is standing here. This is like 15 meters, and I will need to be in this range for his blood devotion to work on me anyways. Like if I had the extra range and I was standing here, like I could edge heal him with the increased range, which is very nice for when blood devotion is off. But generally, I will just use the swift healing range extension on that. And people are usually either in close range to get hit by the default range, or they are too far away to even get hit by the extra range. Like I've tried playing with and without many times, and I barely notice any difference with the range extension. So that's why I decided to drop range extension on that. But it's really personal preference. It has its use cases. Like if you want to edge heal someone, it's very nice to run the increased radius. Invincible wall, targets expanded for sure. It's just too good not to use. And then there is the skill distance increased again. So if you decide to run the radius increases, you will need to use these both. Else you can just not use both. So that's basically almost everything on your healing side. The only one left is Fountain of Life. I see people run radius increase on this one as well. Like this is the base. See, it's a pretty small one. If you increase it, it will be like slightly larger. I don't run this because using this is pretty situational. There are like some use cases you will be using Fountain of Life, like you are getting jumped on, you can't run away. You can cast this under yourself to keep yourself alive, get a Blessed Barrier on yourself, do Swift Healing on yourself. The burst healing is gonna be insane. The other one is when a party member gets caught, or your tank is engaging and he can't get out of his position. You can throw this under him, you know, whether he's bouncing up on tornadoes. All of those situations, I don't feel like the extra range will be contributing much, because if they're gonna run out, they're gonna run out. The range isn't gonna stop them, like the small increase it will be giving. So that's why I decide to run this like this. For sleep, you will use Cursed Nightmare with Deep Sleep and Enhanced Nightmare, and you will use Karmic Haze with Radius Increased. That way you can spread the sleeps. That's pretty much it for Wand. Let me just get this one out. That means that we have used 47 points for Wand, and it leaves us with 53 points for Staff. So going into Staff, the first one you want to look at is High Focus, and you will definitely want to use Victorious Energy. Maxed out, this will increase your magic hit chance by 460 and your evasions by 460 as well. This is basically why we run melee evasion, because you can just boost it insanely high. Ranged evasion, not so much. That's why I recommend going melee evasion and ranged endurance, but that's a different topic. And if you want to know more about that, just watch my previous video. So what you basically always want to do, like if you look at my current magic hit chance, it is 740. When I cast Victorious Energy, it will get boosted up to almost 1200, giving me a pretty large chance to hit basically anyone. So what you can do is you can cast your sleep, spread it out, and there's a pretty high chance to start hitting people. For the other skills, I will be going for a more damage-oriented build. So I will be getting Serial Fire Bombs with Chain Lightning and Judgment Lightning. For the Serial Fire Bombs, I want to use Focused Fire Bombs with mobility, radius increased, and projectile speed increased. This is a nuke. You can also run this in the instant casting one, where you just mash the button, but the damage is just so much less. And you can move while casting this, so I can get this off pretty much always. Chain Lightning, you want to use every single one. The Chain Lightning is really good. For Judgment Lightning, you want both damage transfers, and that's basically the finished build already. You have 4 points left, so these are just filler points, and using Immune to CZ on Inner Peace is pretty nice for that. So this leaves us with a pretty well-rounded build. Like, you have a nice DPS rotation, you cast a Fireball into the Thunders, which is a pretty nice damage boost. You can go and sleep. You can also use Victorious Energy to hit your damages, and you have all the healing skills you need. The only thing this lacks is any form of peel and other CCs. If you miss that, you can drop Judgment Lightning, which I will show you. You can get these off and replace Judgment Lightning with Icebound Tomb. For Icebound Tomb, you want to use Bind and Icy Mire, and for that you will get this one off to get enough points. So you can use these. And you will swap them. And now you have a nice damage rotation with your Fireball into Thunder. You have a nice peel and CC, and you have your sleep, while having all the heals up. So this is basically it for the finished heal build. Of course, like I gave you guys many options to use. You can also go for the range increases on Invincible Wall and Clay's Salvation if you so like. You will just need to get rid of some of these points. Like you can go for the instant casting version and get out of Chain Lightning. Then you can use the radius increases. Actually, you even have some points left, so you can keep this one. And then you have the filler point situation again, and you will be able to get the immune back. So it's really personal preference. I will post some finished builds in the description. But before I end up this video, I will also go over a version without sleep. So for a version without sleep, I basically run the same base. In this case, I only use 32 points in my wand because I am not running sleep on this. That leaves us with many other points I can use here. Like I will still use the focused fire bombs I already used earlier. I will use the chain lightning I already used earlier together with the judgment lightning. But then I will also have icebound tomb up instead of the sleep. And I will add a base damage boost to my victorious energy. So I can get increased damage. So that will look like this. And I have a filler skill for Salvation Chain. I don't see many people run this, but it's actually pretty powerful. When one of our top DPSs gets caught in a mass sleep, I can use this to pull them out. Like if they are caught in a mass sleep, they will get nuked. Often they will just get one shot if they miss position. You know, you can say good players need to position themselves good, and they generally do. But you know, everybody gets caught up in a bad position or in a choke, and this can save lives. So this is a really nice skill to have. This is basically what I enjoy, personally just enjoy running the most. I don't really enjoy running sleep that much, but I run it because it's just too good not to. There might be coming some sleep nerfs in the future, so I'm secretly hoping on that. But yeah, this is basically what I usually run. The sleep version, the non-sleep version, and both of these are basically hybrid builds, more offensive catered builds. You can build full support builds, like there are many options that will give like nice buffs. You can go for enchanting time on time for punishment. You can even spread your victorious energy. There are so many options. If you guys would like me to make more support centered builds, like full support and one stuff, let me know and I'll make a video about it. I just generally don't prefer it myself, because I think if you want to go full support, one bow is better than one staff. I really think that the more hybrid version is what makes this class so good, because I am in effect a full healer. Like in my party, I am the only healer and I can keep everybody alive while also being semi-decent DPS. Like, you don't fool yourself that you're gonna be hitting nukes and going on a million killing sprees, because you won't. But it's certainly helping. It's certainly helping. So that's basically it for this video. I hope it helped or inspired you to edit your own current build. As I said before, I will put some pre-made builds in the description, like the classic healer style, the offensive healer style, some full support builds. I am working on a few arena builds. If you want to see those, just let me know. Or if you have any general questions, just let me know as well. If you want to contact me, ask me some questions, feel free to just do it in the reactions or on Discord. You can find me on Eli's healer Discord, which I will also link in the description. Yeah, thanks.